good exit from the final corner here. Admiral's going to be able to get the toe and potentially swing it on the right hand side. He does. He throws it onto the inside of T1. Will he get there in time? Yes, he does. So Mats is in the Clarion GTR on the right hand side. Anthony's in the left hand side NSX, and off they go. Akshik looking to make a move down the right hand side here, tries to get the NSX on the inside, will help him on the way into T1, but makes contact with Bandit potentially. And Mats here looking to get through the first couple of corners cleanly in the Clarion GTR, manages to get away, but Akshik's been spun around at the very beginning here. That is very unfortunate for him. But Mats is out and away, clearly in the lead here with Anthony in the NSX, following closely behind with Jack Noller in the GTR, bringing up the rear. Let's go to the side-by-side cameras here as we go on to the downhill, on the way down to the right hand at the bottom of the hill. We'll see if anyone locks their brakes up here, as we saw them doing so in the qualifying session. A disastrous result for Akshik at the beginning of the race there. He was so fast in qualifying and got spun around at the beginning of the race, which is massively unfortunate for him. Anthony now following along the last couple of corners here, following in behind Mats as he tries to find some pace in the NSX. He'll be getting the advantage of a little bit of a toe off the GTR, but as we've seen before, an NSX sitting behind a GTR does not really necessarily get to go any quicker. It just levels off the difference in speed. Coming through the last corner there, you can see Have You Seen My Dad, followed closely behind by Greeny, I believe that is. Forrest McCormack, who has got Have You Seen My Dad right on the rear bumper at the moment. Admiral Snack Bar there, and Greeny just appearing in the Takata NSX on the way down the hill. At the moment we're on with Forrest McCormack here in the Epson NSX. As they come through the right hand at the bottom of the hill here, Have You Seen My Dad is definitely following along closely behind. So Anthony has got Jack Noller in the GTR following right behind him, and he's in a pretty unfortunate position right here because a GTR will outpace an NSX on the start-finish line, and we're probably going to see that in a few seconds here as Jack positions up behind him, and Anthony's actually going to the pit lane. So Anthony unfortunately dropping down. Maybe that was a jump start from him. Have You Seen My Dad is trying to hang on here in the Takata NSX as they come over the top of the hill here. You can see Admiral Snack Bar running in P5 in the GTR, hasn't quite managed to get a good line yet on the NSXs and hasn't been able to catch up yet. David Mole in P9 just moves up and overtakes, which is great to see. Let's quickly go to David, who has now got Jexy in the Lexus, looking to potentially try and battle his way back past. We're going to see if Akshik can bring out some of that God lap pace that he was showing in qualifying and climb his way back up the leaderboard here from P9 up to somewhere where he qualified, which I believe was about P4. Yeah, we're going to go on board with Have You Seen My Dad and see if he can find a way past. I think he's running a lot less ballast than Forrest McCormack in front. I think Forrest McCormack picked up quite a bit of ballast, about 72 kilos or so far, which will be slowing them down, but not necessarily enough to make it easy for Have You Seen My Dad to catch up here and try and make a pass. And see if Snack Bar is now able to execute an overtake on the start-finish line here. Getting a good exit from the final corner here. Admiral's going to be able to get the toe and potentially swing it on the right-hand side. He does. He throws it onto the inside of T1. Will he get there in time? Yes, he does. And allows him to get past. But will Have You Seen My Dad be able to do a switchback? Almost, but not quite. Greeny there in P6. Ooh. Big off for Have You Seen My Dad, which is very unfortunate. And Akshik manages to make the move work. And Binding is now in P8 and David is up to P7. So a little bit of luck there for David. Forrest McCormack in the Epson 32. And Admiral Snack Bar here is now starting to really close in, looking to potentially get a nose of the car down the side here. As you can see also in the background, Greeny getting a little bit closer, becoming a more prominent feature in the rear view, now up into P5. So something's happened here to allow Greeny to get up to P5. The Greenie in the Takata, number 18 NSX here, on the start-finish line, following in behind the GTR driven by Admiral Snackbar. You can see the toe advantage that the GTR gets in front off of the Epson in front of that is allowing him to walk away from Greenie, who doesn't have a hope of keeping up with the pace on the straight. But here in the corners, that's where Greenie can shine, and you can see already the closing of the gap here between Admiral and Greenie, as Greenie looks to try and nose his NSX ever closer towards the rear end of the GTR. Let's go back to Forrest McCormack as he goes side by side with Admiral Snackbar down the start-finish line here to T1. Snackbar's on the outside edge, which allows Forrest to control the inside entry. But actually, it looks like he's a little bit too far behind, but Snackbar runs wide, allowing Forrest McCormack to maintain P3. But Greenie, ever present, is going to be here to try and take advantage of that mistake. And we'll see if he can on the way up the hill here. So coming down the start-finish straight again, Snackbar will be getting that toe and closing in. Not close enough this time to challenge into the first corner. Both drivers running slightly wide on the way through the first corner, using the runoff board there, but not quite going too far off the track. And Greenie here trying to hang on here, but not quite getting to the mix, which is interesting because obviously Forrest is going to be keeping an eye in the rearview mirror here, trying to make sure that he's looking at where he needs to be defending. Whereas Greenie just needs to focus on going forward as quickly as possible. So 14 minutes have passed. We're now coming through to the halfway point. I think we're now seeing a back marker as 48 Neat is in the mix now. And here we go, Snackbar. Will he be able to make the move? He's on the left-hand side again. McCormack goes defensive. And there's contact between the two. That forces Admiral Snackbar into the wall, which is very unfortunate for him. Not getting put off just yet as they come over the top of the mountain. Dylan goes slightly wide, and that allows Have You Seen My Dad to sneak on the inside here, but he's not managing to get just through yet. They're side by side on the way down the hill here. Dylan is side by side still. He's on the outside, which is not where he wants to be for the final corner at the bottom of the hill here. But that allows Have You Seen My Dad to sneak his NSX through, executes the move very nicely. That's very nicely done. So final corner. Greenie very close behind here. Jack finishes in P2, Matt's in P1. Greenie's going to be less than half a second behind as he finishes in P3 and P4 respectively here. So Nasaru looks to be on track to finish in P5, which would be a great result for him again. He's only got... Oh, wow, look at that. Snackbar was literally 0.1 seconds behind as they came to the line there. David finishing in P7. Good result considering the disastrous start of the race that we saw there from Akushik. But Have You Seen My Dad is now looking to finish in P8. Binding going to be picking up a point or a couple of points in P9, which is good for him. And Bandit finishing in P10, so that's 1 point for Bandit. But really didn't get the result they were looking for, I'm sure. That was, you know, Bandit's usually finishing on the podium.